You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Dahnan, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Dahnan for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden, a figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I've never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Xion needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegis anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Dahnans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after that, she still helped me escape back to Dana. She stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left to fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
In all honesty, you don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can. Be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor. back after my brother had passed away. It was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting, to strive no matter what.
And I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them. Left to my own devices, who knows when I would have been able to pick myself up. Besides, it's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming. Not only that, but that guilt you feel inside, that's all the proof you need to know you're a good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you. But, if you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for, huh?
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm like. It's strange. When I think about Lenegis, it still feels like it was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the Sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Shion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Shion were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, Shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Shion must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get going.
Alphen, are we gonna go rescue Shion or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kinda my forte.
Come on, man, snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shion.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shion?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shion's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shion or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Shion. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you.
Back to the inn, I guess.
There you are!
What is it?
Zeugles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it. Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Alphen, right!
Look sharp, people. If we don't act fast, they're going to get into the village.
Right. We need to hurry.
Remember, if the pain's too much,
We've all got our own pain to deal with.
Here they come! Can't let even a single one through!
We prefer a no-Google policy. Fine by me. Let's get to work here.
get back here!
I'm on a roll now.
Eat dirt! Be my guest!
Look sharp. Lightning Tiger Blade.
That's like you!
Shut him down!
Make it rain!
Rising Sun. Yeah.
That's it!
Demon's Descent. Flashing Fang.
Alphen, you okay?
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Yeah.
You know, this Limb kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs. Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh? Is that a hint of fighting spirit I sense?
Yeah. I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers, it comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. Friends, family, home. They took everything from me and left me with nothing but guilt. I was completely alone. At least that's what I thought. But not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that. Not ever again. I'll protect those bonds with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Xion comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Xion, then we defeat Vholran, and liberate Dana. Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Yeah, can't exactly fight at the top.
Okay.
Why? Is that so?
Okay.
Great job.
I'll teach these small fry who's the apex predator of these... Waters, just watch and see.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now,
I guess we're having fish for dinner tonight.
You're saying we should check the Owl Forest? I think Hootle senses an owl around here.
You picked the wrong fight! It's over!
Look sharp! They wrecked it! You gotta jump for cover, okay?
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Lightning
Take this! Right!
Thunder Blade!
Goodbye!
Eliminate the dark!
Here I come! It's over! Now! Severing wind!
This one's mine!
Severing wind! It's over! Winter Dragon! Take this! Look sharp!
Lightning punch! Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
All we have to do is get rid of that thing, right? practically unstoppable. Man, this place is thick with foliage.
I know. It feels like we're going to be swallowed up by all these plants if we stay in here.
Indeed. I much prefer the forests in Menancia myself.
Not that I don't agree, but maybe now's not the best time for Elda Menancia Pride.
No backing down! Dragon Form! Win! Take this! Start us!
I'll take out the leg with my shield.
Not on my watch!
I'm on a roll now!
Take this! Glimmer Dragon! Mirage!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Heroic Swarm!
Rinwa! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
My turn!
I'm ready.
Take this!
Far enough!
You're finished! Win!
It was nice while it
Rising Smoke! I'll take you in!
Do it!
Not
This
again!
one's mine!
Here I come! You're finished!
Eat this! Go
Rising
in!
Falcon! You're mine!
Flaming meteor!
You're mine! Win!
This one's mine!
It's over!
Look out!
It's over!
Lightning now!
Take this!
How's that for a kick? I'm getting better, right?
Quite. I'll be relying on your fancy footwork.
Does fancy footwork mean running away like a chicken?
No! What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
There are still so many creatures we don't know about.
Have you been writing stuff down about what we fight?
That was no.
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little?
You're still awake?
I've always been something of a night owl. Ever since back when I was someone's property. Turning in for the night only made the next day come quicker. I wasn't in any great rush.
Sorry.
What about yourself? Care to share something from before I knew you? You were part of a mage clan, right? Must have been handy being able to rely on magic for everything.
Hardly. In fact, not at all. Magic's not so special when you're not allowed to use it. Always scared of who might be watching?
Right. Sorry about that. I guess I've read too many fairy tales.
We were still made to study it every day. It doesn't make any sense if you think about it, studying the very thing you're being persecuted for. But that's what we did. Just like our parents and their parents before them. Honestly, I don't even know how far back it goes.
If memory serves, mages have been the stuff of legend for ages. Even as far back as 3 centuries ago, they were myths. Your people were persecuted even before the Renans got here.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the less it makes sense though. I mean, it was Astral Arts that let the Renans dominate Dana, right? Why didn't mages end up being the rulers of Dana then?
Maybe they tried, but they just didn't have the numbers. Or maybe domination just wasn't something they were interested in. Have you ever considered it might have been something like that?
I guess I haven't.
I wonder why magic alone attracted the attention it did. Swords can be just as lethal in the right hands. Why not ban them?
My best guess? Swordsmanship can be learned by anyone. Magic's more of an exclusive club.
So, you either have the gift or you don't. When something's not easily obtainable, it's hard to comprehend. People are scared of what they don't understand. And fear leads to persecution. So the problem's not magic. It could just as easily have been anything.
Yeah. Hootle, let me know if you sense anything. Another day, another Gald.
Target, make it rain! Come on now! In an instant! Impact block!
Let's refrain from losing.
There it is. That's our target. Out of my way!
Severing wind!
Going in.
Take this! Swallow dance! I'm not done! Win!
Eat this!
Rising focus!
I'll
Good!
this one.
It's over!
Ready and ready!
Here I come!
I'll tear you apart!
Here I come! Dragon form!
Demons descend! Flashing bang!
Now! Severing wind! Dance!
This one's
Roll now!
Wind!
far enough!
Here I
Make it
come!
rain!
All yours, Kisara.
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
What's this thing?
I think Hootle senses an owl around here.
Right, here goes! Dragon form! I'm on board! You picked the wrong fight!
Go away!
Take this! You're finished!
Look sharp!
You're mine! Take this!
Look sharp!
Keep charging them!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Light burst force!
Radiant Genesis!
Going in!
Eat this!
You're on! Here I come! It's over! Take this! Win! Here I come! Rising Falcon!
Piercing sword!
Severing wind!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Take this!
Here goes!
I'll smash you!
Glacial
Dragon
fire!
shout!
You're mine! Onward and upward.
Okay.
Okay. Dohalim, I'm going to look into some seasonal fishing spots.
By all means.
Leave the preparations to me as well. I'll bring the rods. Would you prefer your fish served grilled or raw?
I'll trust your judgment, Kisara.
What's this thing?
Here goes! I'm not done!
Here goes!
This one's mine!
Thunderblade! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy warrior!
Eat dirt!
Freaking justice!
Take
Not
this!
your dreams!
Denied!
Here I come!
Law!
Demons descend! Flashing bang!
Dance in the wind!
Now! You're mine!
Hurricane strike!
Take this!
Dragon down! Make it
You're
rain!
mine!
Oh, Halim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Citizen!
Looks like we won.
All right. The Fishers always keep their cool. I've got something. You've gotta know when to quit. I've got something. She's got a good size to her, all told.
I can't believe you caught that with a rod. Amazing.
Reel it in. Anybody could reel in that.
Nice! You caught it!
Okay, change of plans.
Little help!
You're mine!
Flaming meteor! Whirlwind snap!
Wind! Soda! Here I come! You're finished! Take this! Eat dirt! No escape! Wind! Stardust! Take this!
Dragon shell! What's this?
Too fast! Stand back! I'll pick it up!
Anything in order is all mine!
Rising sun! Wind!
Now!
Not a chance!
Going in!
Stardust!
What's
Take
this?
this! It's over!
Now!
Mine!
Take this! You're finished!
Lost!
Demon's descent! Flashing fang!
I'm in good form. I'll crush any enemy with my mace.
Awesome! We've got an avatar of destruction here!
Truly. She leaves naught but rubble in her wake.
Are you guys asking to be her next target?
Ho 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 ho! Ho ho ho!
You're saying we should check the Owl Forest?
Feels like I'm melting.
Calaglia was pretty hot, but at least the air there was dry. Out here, it feels like I'm trying to walk through thick soup.
I can hardly breathe, it's so stuffy. And don't get me started on the insects. You hanging in there, Hootle?
It's brutal, all right. I can feel my energy being drained away just by walking. All this vegetation makes it hard to keep an eye out. Keep your wits about you, everyone. And watch you don't keel over while you're at it.
What's needed at times like these is a relaxing hot spring. That would soon help us adjust.
And where do you expect us to find one of those?
What about you, Alphen? All that gear, and you hardly seem to be breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I guess when you've lived a life devoid of pain for as long as I have, even feeling hot and bothered can be a welcome change.
Well, lucky you, I guess. Just don't expect us to carry you when you pass out.
By the way, how is Mahavar doing? Wait. Don't tell me we still haven't found him.
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered the whole length and breadth of the coast, but...
All of the other crew members are accounted for, including us. But we weren't able to find Mahavar. He's still missing.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship.
You mean at the bottom of the ocean? Damn it.
We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
Do you think he might still be alive somewhere out there?
I think stranger things have happened. Whether he's alive or otherwise, we've exhausted all the avenues available to us. All we can do now is press on ahead.
Fine. Let's get going. Thistlein was founded by Danans fleeing the tyranny of Renan lords, right? But when you first came, they must have known Dohalim was Renan. So why do you think they let us in?
They almost didn't. But it wasn't just Dohalim they were wary of. They didn't trust any of us.
Even the weird Danans just like them?
When you live life in constant fear of being pursued, it's only a matter of time before all outsiders start to seem a potential threat.
I suppose that makes sense. So how did you convince them to trust us?
You saw how destitute the village was. They needed food, badly. We hunted some Zeugles for them. That seemed to do the trick.
Of course, a little magic-assisted roast didn't hurt things.
Never underestimate a full stomach's ability to put a person at ease. It turns out a hearty...
What's up?
Once we get to the mountain, the terrain won't be easy. We should rest up here before pressing on.
But what about Shion? She's waiting for us.
All the more reason to conserve our energy.
Huh?
It's not only the mountain. Hard though that may be, it's a pittance compared to what follows. Namely Volron. We wear ourselves out now, or worse still, get injured. We might as well show up gift-wrapped. Right, Kisara?
That's right. Besides, Alphen still hasn't fully recuperated yet.
I'm fine. Don't stop on my account.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, it's me who wants to take a rest for a while. Does that suit you better?
A little bit.
Something's on your mind. You having second thoughts about rescuing Shion?
Of course not. Shion's our friend. Almeidrea was the one I hated. For as long as I can remember, she served as a symbol to me of everything Renan. But ever since getting to know Shion, I realized it doesn't make sense to group people together like that. Every individual is different.
I see.
Besides, the situation with Almeidrea was something else entirely. I'd already decided I wasn't going to kill her, but when I saw her die right in front of me, a part of me thought it served her right, that she'd gotten what she deserved. But another part regretted that someone else had come along and killed her instead. Don't get me wrong. If I had the chance again, I still wouldn't kill her. But it's not like I'll be shedding any tears now that she's gone. It's all so confusing. I don't know how to make sense of any of it.
Who said it had to make sense?
Huh?
Rinwell, you've done nothing wrong. You've started to question the beliefs you've held all your life. It's only natural for you to feel disoriented. You didn't give in to the hatred you felt for Almeidrea. You made a choice not to kill her. And that's significant, whether you realize it or not. As for what it means exactly, That might be worth taking some time to figure out on your own.
Some time.
Or don't, if you don't want to. It's just an idea. I'm still searching too, remember?
No, I think you're right. It can't hurt to keep searching after all. And hey, thanks, Kisara.
So, Alphen, 300 years, huh? Care to share the secret to such a long and healthy life?
I wish I knew. Once I left Lenegis, the next thing I remember is waking up in Calaglia. Everything in between is a blank.
You mean there are still gaps in your memory?
I've heard of starships with devices that can stave off imminent death by putting their passenger into a deep sleep. They're usually only intended as a temporary solution, until proper treatment for an ailment or injury can be obtained.
You think he might have been asleep in that starship for 300 years? But why? What would be the point?
Might this Naori have had a hand in it?
What do you mean?
If she's Renin like you say she is, she would have understood how to operate the starship better than yourself.
You're saying she deliberately put me to sleep for 300 years?
Dohalim, that's a bit of a leap.
Forgive me. I spoke out of turn. I'm merely thinking aloud, that's all. Shion and the maiden Naori. After 300 years, it's not unreasonable to suspect they may be related. Shion is nearly the perfect image of her, yes? She also just so happens to be connected to you. Is it merely a coincidence?
Like I've told you 1,000,000 times already, I wouldn't know.
Well, if you're absolutely certain that it couldn't have been Naori, then I guess I must have been mistaken. Complicated machinery can sometimes break down or have failures. Sorry for being presumptuous.
Hold on a sec. Alphen, you said the mask was to placate you, right? To keep your guilt and rage in check? And you were wearing it the whole time you were asleep, right?
I guess I must have been.
So that's 300 years you were wearing it. It's just a hunch, but do you think that the mask might be...
The reason he lost all his memories?
All but a select few strong ones, so deeply ingrained in his psyche that he saw them in the form of dreams. It's not completely out of the question.
In which case, maybe it was the mask numbing his sense of pain, too.
It's certainly possible. As for how, I wouldn't know, but the dampening effect on his psyche could have manifested itself physically as well.
I'm sorry for snapping at you back there. It's thanks to you that I feel like that we're finally getting somewhere with all this.
No apologies necessary. Reading others' feelings has never been my strong suit.
So he finally admits it.
I really hope Shion's okay.
I get why you're concerned. But if you don't rest when you can, you're going to regret it.
She's right. We need our rest to conserve our strength.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, you two.
No problem. We'll save Shion. I know we will. Alone. I'm all alone.
Let's go. We don't want to keep Shion waiting.
what do you say we check back in on the ranch?